Hello viewers, my name is Carrie Smith. I am the Assistant Executive General Manager for Riverbay Corporation. Fire prevention is very important to us. And here at Co-op City, it is our intent to provide as much information as possible to provide a safe environment. In this video, you will see our Safety Director, Anthony Barzelatto, describe fire hazards he has encountered while performing inspections throughout the complex and offers vital safety tips.
We're here to talk about what can we do to prevent a serious fire from occurring again here at Riverbay. All of us, every day, should practice fire prevention. We must prevent fires from occurring in our apartments. And the easiest way to prevent a fire is to not overload our outlets, limit the use of extension cords, make sure our cords in our appliances are in good condition, they're not frayed, they're not cut, they're not nicked, and that we practice safe with our electricity all the time that we're in our apartments. As well as if we use candles, we have to be safe where we use our candles to make sure they're not near curtains or clothing. Of course, smoking, we shouldn't smoke in our apartment, we should always smoke outside. These are just some fire prevention tips that we can use to prevent a fire from occurring in our apartment. Electrical fires are a #1 cause of fires throughout America. We're in the living room and we're going to talk about surge protectors. And what we found in this living room was surge protectors being used in an incorrect manner. Well, first of all, let's talk about the surge protector. The concept of a surge protector is just what it is to prevent a surge from the outside source, like lightning, coming into the building and ruining an appliance or a TV or a computer. Surge protectors are safe to use if they're used properly. But as you can see here, coming upon this apartment, I have found surge protectors being used in an illegal way. You can never have multitude of surge protectors of one plugged into another, because now what you've done is you've created a hazard for the outlet, an extreme fire hazard, because you've created additional loads for that outlet. So as you can see, the surge protector has got 6 different plugs that you can plug in. So in theory, what they've done, they've taken 12 outlets and they've plugged it into one, which is a serious fire hazard. Also, with this surge protector, as I can see here, it appears that this surge protector had faulted at some point. Either the surge protector itself faulted, or whatever was plugged in here arced, causing this melting of the surge protector. Now, as you can see here on the surge protector, this is missing a ground plug. Well, that's actually came that way. It was designed that way. And as you can see here, this has got the 3rd prong. And this 3rd prong is the grounding plug, okay? Now, if the plug comes that way, designed that way, it's fine, because it's built that way. Sometimes what people will do is that if they have an outlet that doesn't allow that 3rd prong to go in, they will cut the 3rd prong off. And when you cut that 3rd prong off, what you've created is a hazard for yourself, an electrocution hazard, because now the ground, you become the ground instead of the actual appliance or the cord itself. So never cut that plug off. And of course, if there's a fault ever with your wiring or a fault with your surge protector, this here should be discarded immediately and thrown in the garbage and never to be used again. One important feature that you always have to remember when you buy something that's going to be used electrically is you must ensure that the device itself is UL or FM rated. And the device, as you can see on this device that I have here, this outlet enhancer, okay, has no UL ratings on it. Whereas if you look at the cord here, okay, this appliance extension cord, as you can see, has the UL rating because it's got a tag on it. It means it's been tested by Underwriters Laboratory. Whereas this one has not been tested by any agency. So in theory, this is actually a dangerous appliance to use in your outlet because it's not even been tested for that type of use. Most applications that we see in the kitchens utilize this outlet adapter because they don't have enough plugs to plug in the refrigerator, the microwave, and the stove, and they will use this outlet adapter. This outlet adapter, not just being that it's not UL listed, is also a problem because you're overloading the outlet. The outlet is only designed for 2 items, and now when you install additional items, you are in theory overloading the outlet. This outlet is not designed for all of the wattage that both the stove and the refrigerator and the microwave handle into this outlet. You've created a fire hazard, which could possibly start a fire. Before you buy anything electrically, you always got to make sure that it has either a UL label or an FM label. If you go to buy an appliance such as a surge protector, a cord, or anything that does not have either FM or UL, it is very unsafe to use, and I strongly recommend that you do not purchase it. Here we are in a shareholder's bedroom, and we're finding a common theme that's always found wrong in these bedrooms. We have an outlet in the bedroom that is overloaded. It is overloaded because the shareholder has plugged in an adapter that will allow a multitude of other plugs to be able to plug into the outlet. Along those same lines, this outlet adapter, as you can see, gets plugged directly into the outlet, but it also holds 6 other plugs that you can plug into it. Now, one of the also problems that we have here in this bedroom is the use of this type of cord. This cord that we have here that I'm in my hand is what we call a zip cord. It's really meant for a lamp cord. It's not meant for the application that's being used in this bedroom. You do not want to overload any outlet, especially using these type of cords, which is known as a zip cord. And as you can see here, that we have cords that are going to the lamps, we have cords that are connected to this phone charger, and then we have another cord that goes around through the closet that actually connects to another lamp. So we have a multitude of hazards here that are creating a serious fire hazard for this bedroom, as well as for the shareholder. And as a matter of fact, as I hold this plug in my hand, I can feel that it's warm. It was getting warm when it was plugged in. That's an indication that the cord is too much wattage is going through the cord, which is a problem for this cord and a problem because it creates a fire hazard. Another problem that we have with not only overloading outlets is the misuse of extension cords. When you misuse an extension cord, like you see the one with the white cord that's on the floor, the cord comes out of the outlet, it goes through the closet, out the door, underneath the rug, into the lamp. You've created several hazards. The first hazard is with the cord that's going through the closet because it can be pinched by the door. That's a fire hazard. And of course, the cord underneath the rug. That's a major fire hazard because every time you step on that rug, you're crushing that cord. And when you crush that cord, eventually the insulation will break and it will arc and a fire will start. So you never ever put a cord underneath a rug or underneath the carpeting or through a door or through a window. Never. As we know here at Riverbay, we have had several fires that have started because of electrical. And the cause of the electrical fires are dealing with overloaded outlets, improperly used wires, wires that are not in good condition. And the National Electrical Code, along with the New York City Fire Department, they say that extension cords are only to be used temporary. And the National Electrical Code says temporary means 90 days or less. So in theory, you're really not allowed to use extension cords as a permanent fixture, meaning if I have a light and I need to plug into light, it can't be plugged into an extension cord. But of course, we know that outlets are a premium here at Riverbay. So let me first talk a little bit about this type of cord. This cord, as remember, is a zip cord, but you're never allowed to plug one cord into another. If you need an extension cord that's longer, you have to buy one that's longer. You're not allowed to plug one cord into another because what you do is you create, eventually, it'll become loose and it will create an arc or a spark. And when it creates an arc or a spark, that's where a fire starts. A fire will start on the carpeting or the curtains or something, or clothing that's in the bedroom. So the rule of thumb is try to limit the use of extension cords. And if you have to use extension cords, do not use a cord plugged one into another. And if you have to use a cord, we recommend that you get a cord that's a heavier duty cord, such as this cord. As you can see the difference, the thickness of it, okay, the gauge is much different. This cord can hold a lot more wattage than this cord can. So if you are set on getting an extension cord, you want to get a cord that's a heavier gauge cord that can hold the load that you're dealing with, and not buy this flimsy lamp cord or zip cord. I'm here to say that all of us every day should practice fire prevention. We must prevent fires from occurring in our apartments. And the easiest way to prevent a fire is to not overload our outlets, limit the use of extension cords, make sure our cords in our appliances are in good condition, they're not frayed, they're not cut, they're not nicked, and that we practice safe with our electricity all the time that we're in our apartments. As well as if we use candles, we have to be safe where we use our candles to make sure they're not near curtains or clothing. Of course, smoking. We shouldn't smoke in our apartment. We should always smoke outside. These are just some fire prevention tips that we can use to prevent a fire from occurring in our apartment. Electrical fires are a #1 cause of fires throughout America. And today, the cause of fires electrically are overloaded outlets, improperly used extension cords, cords that are not connected properly or improperly wired, or they're cut or nicked in some fashion. If there is a fire on your floor, the safest place that you can be is in your apartment, because the benefit of Riverbay apartments are every apartment is a fireproof, or really is a fire resistive construction apartment, meaning that if there's a fire in this apartment, it's not going to travel to another apartment. It's going to stay confined to this apartment. If there's a fire on your floor, the best place that you can be is in your apartment. Now, there might be some smoke. What you want to do is take some clothing and put it at the edge of the door to prevent any smoke from coming in, but stay in your apartment. You are much safer to stay in your apartment. There is no need to venture out, especially while the firefighters are trying to extinguish a fire in an apartment. Riverbay, whether it be CSO or management, will certainly be in contact with you when the time comes to allow you to leave the apartment, only when it is safe. But please stay in your apartment. There is no need to leave. Block the door with some towels to prevent any smoke from coming in. Now, there may be some water damage. Of course, we will address that at that time. But please stay in your apartment. You're a lot safer in the apartment. On behalf of the Riverbay Safety Department, I ask that we all practice fire safety on a daily basis. It is up to you to prevent fires. Please take a moment to inspect your apartment. Make sure you don't have overloaded outlets. Make sure you're not using extension cords. Make sure if you are using extension cords that you use the right type of cord, that your cords are in good condition, that your appliances are in good condition. Make sure that your candles are in a votive holder. Make sure that if you're smoking, you're going outside. We can all prevent fires from occurring. We thank you for listening, and please remember, practice fire safety.